From the latest Jeeps to luxury minivans, sedans, Mercedes-Benz, Range Rover, name them. With Marvel Executive Car Hire, you are just a key away from the ride of your life. Today on Ndonji Diaries, we are honored to be hosting Fred Ndonji, who is the CEO and President of Marvel Executive Car Hire. So welcome, Fred, and good morning.
Good morning.
So Fred, I think the journey or the story about Marvel Executive Car Hire is pretty much interesting, but I'd like to know, or rather I'd like to start from where it started. How did you come up with the idea of Marvel Executive Car Hire?
Okay. First of all, I want to thank you for having me. So back in 2018, I got a trip to go to Dubai to watch Formula One. Safaricom had sponsored me to go watch Formula One in Abu Dhabi. So while there for 4 days, I was a little bit more interested in so many other things apart from Formula One, just the lifestyle in town and every other thing. And I happened to have an interaction with high-end cars in that town so much. So when I came back, I told myself, look, what can I do based on the lessons that I learned from there? So fast forward to 2019, I'm an engineer, so there's a project that we did, and I got some good cash. So I wanted to also to upgrade, to a better car based on the cars that I'd seen there. So I decided to get a Jeep. So when I got a Jeep, so I had two cars now, my older car, and now these are the car. So over weekends, now friends will ask me for this car, just to go out with it, take photos, attend events, and so on and so forth. So with time I realized that, wow, this is something that I could turn into a business. Instead of just giving out a car for free, why can't I be charging people less money? So during then I would just ask someone, okay, I'll give you my Jeep, how much are you giving to me? Someone would just tell me 10K and I'll be like, it's okay, 10K, you take the car. Slowly now I realize that, probably I will get 2-3 friends wanting the car over the weekend and I only had one. So after some time, I got an S-Class. Now I had two. Now I had two high-end cars and my older car. To just cater for the demand over the weekend, because now I was getting now 20K instead of 10 from the Jeep. Again, the demand kept going up. That's how now I decided, wow, can I do this as a business on the sideline of my engineering? And that is how Marvel, started late in 2019.
Very interesting to hear that story, but I think I want to take you back to your background as an engineer. What kind of engineer? Is it mechanical? Is it electrical?
Okay.
And take me through your education journey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. On the engineering bit, I'm an electrical engineer with specialty in renewable energy. So on my education journey, do I need to take you through from primary or what?
Yeah.
Okay, just in brief, I went to Chemeli Primary School. That's where my dad used to work. Probably also as quote-unquote an engineer. He wasn't an outright engineer, but So in Chemeli Primary School. Then when he retired in 98, we went to Kisumu. Then I went to a local school in Kisumu. For your information, we used to go barefooted in that school, as in we were barefooted all through. I remember during KCC that probably I bought KCP that I borrowed shoes, because we couldn't do exams without shoes per se. So in primary school, yes, I was the top student in that school, but the school I was admitted in, I was the last 5. So you can imagine. So I went to Kisumu Boys. I was the last 5 Kisumu Boys. So again, I went through Kisumu Boys, just working so hard. By the time I was in Form 3, luckily, I was now in the top 10 from being the bottom last in a school of 300 students, okay? So at the tail end of Form 3, actually, I was number 1, then I became Index 1, then to Form 4, then I got my A. I was a scholar all through my life. I got an A. Though it was an A that I felt wasn't in line with what I wanted, because all along I wanted to be a doctor. So I decided to go back to repeat. That and A, I was in the newspaper. simply because my biology wasn't an A. The other ones were A's, but biology wasn't an A. So I wanted to go back to repeat so that I could do medicine. So when I went back to school, they told me that I couldn't repeat. Instead, they asked me to teach other people how to pass exams, because to them they felt like an index 1 in a school of 300, how do you want to come back and repeat? So I did an training teacher for 2 years in Kisumu Boys. During which Kisumu Boys was number 3 in Nyanza, the whole of Nyanza. I was a certificate for that. So after that, then I joined the University of Nairobi. So my teachers encouraged me to just go for the next available course after medicine. So that is how I landed in engineering. So through the 5 years at the University of Nairobi, I got an upper second class, and then I came out here to do my work. So I practice engineering. That is my full-time job. So this Marvel and many other things that I do are just thing on the sidelines. But yes, that is my education on engineering.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting, and I think I see a story of resilience, because you started going to school, and at some point you even went barefoot, and we also see you, becoming bottom 5 and then rising to top 5, and we have a variety of views. Before I come back to Marvel Executive, what was your game changer? What kept you going through this hardship, and how did you maneuver your way from moving from the bottom to the top?
Okay, personally, I've always believed, I think I'm not gifted in any way, so I have to work hard for whatever thing I'm looking for. I always put in the hours. So, like in primary school, I just had to put in the hours, as in, I come from a very humble background, and we are very many in our family. So it was a struggle, and I used to tell myself, if I don't push hard, then probably I will end up, I won't have an opportunity to change my family. In primary school, I won't say that I was so much focused per se. I was just doing bare minimum, but things were working out, because as I mentioned, it was a very rural school. In fact, it took over 10 years for the record I left there to be broken. That is how rural that school is. As in, it's a very remote school. Over 10 years. So, but part of the biggest game changer I had was in high school. I remember when I was in Form 2, my mom got an opportunity of a scholarship in a school somewhere in Thika. So I had to leave Kisumu Boys, because this was an opportunity where now she was not going to pay the school fee. My dad had retired a long time ago. So my mom was just struggling. So I left Kisumu Boys chini ya maji, as in, not in an official way. Just pick your bags, go home, and then you don't come back. So I reported to a school in Thika. Things didn't go well in that school. In fact, our story was in the media, because we were taken to, it was like a con game, okay? So I ended up hosting almost a whole term there. Then finally I went back to Kisumu Boys. My experience in that school for that term was, wow. I think, I don't know how to say, it was bad, but bad in a good way, because it changed my life. The kind of life we were living there was just horrible. It wasn't an outright school, where probably we will go wash cars for us to get money, to feed ourselves. There was no light. We were in a boarding school without power, so we will go to bed at 7. As in, that experience just gave me a different perspective of what I needed to do in my life. Because when I went back to Kisumu Boys now, they had realized that I had not been coming to school for like a whole term. So it was now very difficult for me to be admitted. So that process, it was so much involving. At some point in time, they told me I had to go back to where I came from. Okay. But finally, when they readmitted me and gave me one teacher to be checking me, because they thought there was some sinister things my mom was trying to do with me. Because they didn't understand why I was away from school like that. So when this teacher now became persistently on my life, checking if I was in class and so on, I told myself there was no way around it. So I just had to work hard. I remember when I went back, I was still in those, because as I mentioned, Kisumu Boys is a 6-stream school with over 50 students per stream. I was still in those top, those 200, the last 200s, from number 200 to 300. After that, I just decided to push. So the first time I did it, I saw myself coming to top 50. Again, I did it, I came to top 20. I was like, wow. Then I started getting a bit of recognition and here and there. then to top 10, then to number 4 something, then to number 1, and it went through like that. But I used to put in the hours. I've always been putting in hours. In campus, let me give you an example in campus. When I joined campus, because I realized that I was doing a course which I felt was quote unquote, sorry to say that, below me. I wanted medicine, but I went for number 2. The first week in campus, I formed a group discussion with the top students. Actually, my class had the top students in each of their
institutions,
BS places. Because everybody had an A, as in it wasn't like even a story, everybody had an A in that class. But the first 1 week I formed a group discussion. Like 4 ladies and 4 guys. From week 1, that is how I put in the hours. When there was no syllabus and so on and so forth. Because during the 2-year break as I was a teacher, because I already set up my mind that now I was going to do this course, I was already, doing research about electrical engineering, getting notes from other guys who were ahead of me. So the first week I was able to form a group discussion and know exactly what we were required to do. This group went through till we were done with campus, and 3 ladies from our group actually got first class honors. And I believe that probably is also attributed to the the kind of discussion we were having. The rest of us had upper. So it's been a journey of working hard. It has never been very easy for me. I put in the hours. Whatever thing I do, hours. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely interesting. I think one last follow-up question on your journey to education. It's very clear that you put in the hard work, but at some point, it is not easy to hang in right there, especially when you have a lot of hurdles along your way. So what is the one thing that kept you going, that kept you pushing, aside from the hard work?
I think the poverty at home. As in, always I sit back and tell myself, do I want to go back to that house? Do I want to go back? I see it. Do I want to go back and leave my parents the same way I found them? I think that has just kept me going. The fact that it's so hard back at home, the responsibilities. So that has kept me going. And of course, also just praying, I think, because I've gone through some bad patches in my life. Just to mention, when I got my first job, I was taken to Baringo County. Okay. And during my work there, of course, we used to be housed like in a cottage in a very nice hotel there. I got bitten by a snake. I was down for like 6 months. Okay. So some of these things is through prayer, because when I was even bitten by that snake, personally I knew I was dying, because there have been incidences of snake bites in Baringo and people have died. Actually, one of our drivers who is a local there, the mom was bitten and died. So even when I got bitten by a snake, I was like, wow, this was the end of it all. In fact, I was literally packing my stuff as I was being rushed to the hospital. So it's been hard work, but also prayer has played a key role in just keeping me hanging. Otherwise, things at times get so tough. Even me at times I've always felt like, wow, I just need to give up and sit. But then you pray, you plan, you push, then things work.
Wow, you pray, you plan, and you push. So we see you have graduated and you get your first job. I presume you were taken to Baringo first. But also it's through this first job that you got a project, and then Marvel Executive came in. But what are some of the key lessons that you learned on your first job? Because I believe there you got some lessons on how to even manage your own business and stuff. So what are some of the key lessons that you learned, especially about managing people around business? Yes.
Okay. Actually, my first job was the most interesting. Because look, during my last year in campus, I had a friend who was 1 year ahead of me. He had been employed in one of the oil and gas companies, and he was making good money. So he was telling me, you have to join this company. I will give you all the secrets so that by the time they're recruiting, you get an opportunity to join us. So he prepared me for 1 year. When I went for the interview, I failed. And the lady who is in my group, in the group discussion I mentioned, she got admitted. So I was a little bit happy, but also sad on one end that a colleague had joined. Happy, but me, I had lost. Then I'd been preparing for 1 year. So then I got an opportunity to join these, it was called Cummins Cogeneration. So they were just initially Cummins has always dealt with generators in Kenya through Car General, but now they were looking to set up a power plant in Kenya. So I was basically their first local engineer, barely French, knowing nothing. So they sent me to Baringo. So look, the reason why it was a bit interesting is the oil and gas job was paying 4 times what I was getting now paid in this company that now I got. For a job I lost. So I went there 50-50 saying that, okay, let me just pick up this and see how it goes. Matters was, again, I was taken to Baringo, a very tough place near the Pocots. I was the engineer in charge of site. So every single day I had to employ over 100 people because we were building a company from scratch. During then, the cost of putting up the company was close to 22 million USD. So I was the guy in charge of that project, based in Baringo. So I had to learn how to manage like over 100 people on site, clear site, do construction, things which are not even related to electrical engineering, civil, mechanical, every bit, be it obtaining licenses to set up the company. So I just learned on the job. But then I was always, I've always been a guy who consults. I'm never afraid to say, I don't know, what can I do about this? So I kept on consulting even my seniors, asking questions, doing so on and so forth, and also just listening to the guys. Because let me tell you, even managing those guys entails you listening to them and then telling you exactly how to go about one of the things. So that is how I've been. On to Marvel. Marvel came a little bit later when I left that company, because when I was bitten by a snake, after I went through an operation, because I had to go through an operation, I felt like it was a bit tough to go back there again. So I got another job. The company is an engineering firm, but I decided to specialize in the renewable energy arm of the company. So also there I just kept pushing here and there, doing extra jobs. So that's how I got small money to now start Marvel after that my trip to Abu Dhabi.
And I think sometime on the sides when we were chatting, you mentioned something about really going to work early and coming back late. Can you take us through that phase of your life?
Okay, as I did put it, I'm someone who puts in the hours completely. So even when I joined this company after the snake bite, after learning a few things about the company, I decided as a person that I wanted to put in more. Because this is a company that had done a couple of projects, but they had not even been registered in so many other aspects. So I was like, okay, what can I do to help make this company better? So, and then I was put in a department that had only one guy as well. So I was the second guy. So we were tasked with developing all these departments, the renewable energy arm, in an area that I was not so familiar. In as much as the Baringo project was also in renewable, but it was biomass based. Now this one was solar based, and anything around solar. So now I had to get into the office very early in the morning. At some point in time, I used to get to the office at 6 in the morning and leave at 8. There were no allowances, no nothing, just the basic salary. But it was also a strategy because I was on a low salary. That allowed me getting to the office at 6 means by 5:30 I was already out of my place. And now I was able to pay less. I think I was paying like 20 shillings to get to town and get to the office. So somehow I was saving money, but I was also working hard because if I get to the office at 6, I'm able to do so many other things, so that by the time the office work starts at 8, I've already done so many other things. When people are leaving for home at 5, me, I still remain behind, probably do reports or do so many other things. By the time I'm leaving at 8, the fare is down, but I've also covered so much.
So I think I see also a lot of determination really coming from you, because it's not easy to make that decision to report early and to do work related stuff. I think for other people it would have been easy to focus on your other things as opposed to what your employer really has put you to do there. So over to Marvel Executive Car Hire. So you get your first Jeep, and your motivation is basically because your friends like to ask you for the cars over the weekend, and you decide to take that risk. But how was it really? Did you ever get afraid of starting? What if they don't need the car in the next weekend? Did you ever have such thoughts? And how did you navigate that and just brave on to get more cars?
Personally, I've never been afraid to take risks. I've taken so huge risks in my life. I found myself at times coming back home because I still live alone, you know. I sit home at night and even at times you even shed a tear. You're like, if this bursts, it's the end of me.
Yeah.
Okay? So I take risks because in any step you take, there could be two outcomes.
Yeah.
You either succeed or you can fail.
Yes.
So even for Marvel, I think I've just taken risks, knowing or expecting the very best one. Because even if things doesn't work out, at least I will have given my best.
Yeah.
Look, for car hire, if they don't take up the cars, I can still use the cars for my own use, okay?
Yeah.
So you just hope for the best. Yeah, but I believe if you trust the process, they say you need to trust the process. You trust the process, you keep pushing, opportunities will always open up. There is always something for every one of us. There's always something for every one of us. So I've never been afraid of guys not hiring, or doing what. I just maximize on the days that I just maximize on what I can make out of the 30 days in a month. Yeah.
So what does a normal day for Marvel Executive Car Hire is? And I think a good point to start would also be to explain to our viewers what exactly Marvel Executive Car Hires does. I think it's pretty much obvious from my explanation, but also from the things you have shared. But who do you work with at Marvel Executive Car Hire?
Okay, as I did explain, Marvel is a side hustle, per se. So I decided to look for guys who are looking for side hustles. So I reached out to a couple of my friends who have cars and would like to do something over the weekends. Because initially I wanted to just give out cars over the weekends. So I was targeting wedding events and so on and so forth. So if I had a wedding that needed one car, I used to drive myself. I would be the driver.
Yeah.
So weekdays I'm an engineer, over the weekend I'm a driver. And you know the stereotype around here.
Yes.
Let me just mention to you. There's a wedding I gave out cars, and I was one of the drivers. And these are things that, you know, come with the work.
Yeah.
So during, you know, the reception, when we went to serve, we were told, oh, drivers, you know, you're supposed to serve the other side. Okay? Yeah. I feel like, wow, I'm an engineer.
Yeah.
I own this fleet. Probably the person who's telling me that doesn't even know.
Yeah.
And we are being sent. As in, you can imagine, you know, people are serving and they're, hey, driver. You know. But then, those are the challenges.
Yeah.
So, during the initial phase, when we had only one car hire, I used to be the driver. If we had two, I would reach out to a friend who probably has a car, who will come and park their car at my place, and then we go do the job. So that has been like the journey. Over time, of course, the fleet has since grown to more than 10.
Yeah.
And also the guys have since grown. So we have a couple of guys. Even when you're walking in, the guy so there is learned. He has a degree, but this is part of what we do. At times he comes if he has free time to just make sure that the cars are in good condition and so on and so forth. So that is basically what we do. We are family. Actually, almost all the drivers that we are working with are all graduates.
Wow.
There's something else they are doing. Of course, there are those who probably do not have a stable job and so on and so forth. But all the people I work with as we speak are people who are learned. So that also, when they get an opportunity to deliver on something, they do it well.
Yes.
Because Marvel has since grown to a level whereby we've hired cars to the state, as in we've carried some ex-presidents, ex-prime ministers, even elected leaders in the country, and as in we've hired clients.
Yes.
Personally, I've been a driver to one of these hired clients where, you know, a lot of professionalism is expected and so on and so forth.
Yes.
So working with such a team has made it so easy because it's very easy. These are people already exposed in terms of etiquette and so on and so forth. So that has been Marvel. On a normal day, we just have a phone number. We don't have a physical office presence. But we've made sure that because there is a lot of online scamming here and there, we made sure that we worked with a couple of non-celebrities who have integrity. We've given out our cars so that people believe that these are things that exist. Our prices are a bit low, that at times when people call to find out, they normally question if the cars actually exist, because probably they expect very high prices and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But the reason why we are doing this as a company is also we are giving people experience to a point whereby, as a company, we've run this for a very long time. You hire a certain number of cars, we give even one free of charge.
Oh, yeah.
We've even done some weddings to people for free, just to make sure that at least we give people an experience and so on and so forth. So normal day, we just have a phone number. People will call. Some will want to come and see the cars.
Yeah.
Some will believe based on the people they've seen we work with.
Yes.
They will make bookings. We deliver cars if it is an event. We go to those events. So yeah, it's just a phone. It's just a phone. No physical office somewhere.
Yeah. Yes. So I think what keeps you people so humble, because somebody of your state, it's not easy to find. On one side you are an engineer, this is a side hustle, but also then you get there and people just say, you're a driver, you need to behave some type of way, you need to sit some type of place in an event. So how do you guys maintain this level of humility also?
Let me tell you, without humility, I don't think you can, to me, based on my experience, without humility, I don't think you can actually go far. Because even when I have the gown of an engineer, I want to be humble.
Yes.
To be able to push through things. Look, I worked closely for 4 years with the late Kirubi. And one thing I learned from him is that you need to be ready to take up anything. At times I will walk to his site and he tells me to prune the trees. Okay?
Yes.
Look, I'm an engineer. Okay? How will I prune the trees? But I will do it. Because I knew if that will help me make me get that job and do that job, you just need to focus on the bigger picture. Leave the side shows. Anything will come your way. Yeah. Because there are times even, like for him, actually him I think he gave me the greatest, lesson of being humble.
Yes.
At times we'll walk to his place, maybe he's in a bad mood. He sends us away. Literally, just the security guy opened the gate. I don't want to see these guys. But again, we will still come back when he calls us. We'll still just be able, because we knew exactly. Me, I knew exactly. I've always known, if this is what I want, I'll do whatever it takes. You can call me anything. I don't even care. Provided I know my end goal. I know this is, I need to deliver this project for you. Because probably if I deliver this project for you, based on our own calculations, I know I will make something out of it.
Yeah.
This something will go a long way in helping my family back at home. Call me whatever it takes. Provided you're not taking out my, you're not taking away my life, I'm good to go. So to me, that is everything. Yeah. That being humble is everything for me. Yeah.
And I think that reminds me of a phrase in the Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, where he says, I will start where I can, do what I can, but at the end of it all, I have to make sure that I have achieved what I'm trying to get out of that. So just also to ask a bit of a follow-up question. You guys don't have a physical office, but how have you maintained the trust of your customers and your clients?
So first, it's just the way you talk to people as well. When they give you a call, you need to make people feel like, you need to give them an experience even on a call.
Yes.
So the way we talk to you on call, and also the fact that we also want to listen to you. Because look, Nairobi, or Kenya per se, we have a lot of conmanship going around. Yeah. Where you see something online, you pay, delivery being done, there's nothing to be delivered. You call now, that number is gone, and so on and so forth. So for us at times, we listen to clients, we ask them, okay, if you're interested in this car, how would you like us to go about it? Yeah. Would you like to see the car? Can you bring it to where you are? Or how? As in, we listen to people. We listen to feedbacks. And again, we also just try to participate in most of these charitable events. Though it's not clear even from our page, but we do a lot of it. At times, as I mentioned, we've even run, let's say, a program where we were identifying those people who are planning to do a wedding but could not even afford the car. Yeah. So we give them cars, other people will see. Yes. And then also referrals. When we get one opportunity, we treat it as the only opportunity probably that we have. So we make sure we do a good job. Once we do a good job, it is always a word of mouth. You know, someone will tell you that, hey, can you go to Marvel?
Yeah.
Someone will tell you, can you go to Marvel? Someone will tell you, can you go to Marvel? So that has always been the idea.
Yes.
And then also, when we promise something, we do it. For example, let me use this. We always tell clients, if you book 4 cars, we give you a 5th car free. So a 5th car of the same.
Yeah.
But there are cases where probably, let's say on a wedding day, we've had issues, probably you might have an issue with the car or something. We've always even replaced, even if you have an issue with the car, let's say the client wanted 4 Jeeps and we've given them a 5th Jeep. And we reach out to a client and say, okay, probably one car has an issue, can we replace it with the Mercedes, which is also the same class as this? Yeah. And then we try to make sure that if we tell you something, we give you an experience. We give you an experience. And people, our clients have been our biggest, promoters. They talk about us, they share about us, and we get clients.
Yeah. So you have built really the trust of your clients, and I think that is very key to any entrepreneur who is thinking of starting any business. It's great to be humble, great to be prayerful, hardworking, but also ensure that you build trust of your clients. So where do you see Marvel Executive Car Hire in 5 years?
Okay, I think Marvel, even where we are, Marvel would have been bigger than it is now. I think it's only me who sat on it. As in, I don't want to let it run because I feel like Marvel has grown bigger than myself, but I'm still trying to contain it. Because up to now, there are those inquiries that I get, but I've been very reluctant to venture into them, simply because, look, as we speak, Marvel, we try to give out cars that belongs to us. Yeah. We try not to broker cars, as in to get a car somewhere and our margins give you, because as I mentioned, we want to be as affordable as possible. Yes. So if you reach out to us and the cars belongs to us, we are able to give you a very competitive rate. Very competitive rate. So I feel like if we could open up a bit or be willing to take chances to just allow other forms of engagement to make Marvel, shoot even further, so that we can have on board even units that don't belong to us, provided we just have a very good agreement that, even if you're having units, probably we're still able to pass down a considerable cost to clients. Yes. It's something that I think can make us grow and achieve greater heights. And also probably have a physical office somewhere. Yeah. Because where I see it, there's that chance of being the best car company in the country, and even expanding to other areas, probably other areas of like helicopter hire and so many other things. So let's see how it goes. For me, if we take each day at a time, but yes, we want to grow even to other towns. Yes. Yeah.
Interesting. So we are drawing nearer to the end of the interview, but aside from Marvel Executive Car Hire, friend, you also have another sound company that you are running. Do you want to just give us a snippet about that and what you are doing?
Oh yeah. As I mentioned, actually engineering is just the main thing, but then there are so many other things. So Marvel is one of them. There's also another one called Top Notch Entertainment. Yes. So Top Notch Entertainment and Marvel, I think I started them in the same month or something, almost the same month or 1 month apart. So for Top Notch Entertainment, these are units that has 2 bands, 2 live performing bands under it. So how the band came about is over weekends, especially on Sundays, I will go to Garden City to listen to a band that used to perform there as I write down my plan for the whole week. I just used to write down my plans, so I would just listen to live music, plan for the whole week, plan for the month, and so many other things to detail. So with time, I was like, I wanted to put money in that band. Yeah. So I engaged a member of that team before we even encouraged me that, okay, why can't you even just start your own band instead of something like that? So I was like, wow, as in, it's something I can do. So we sat down, agreed, and then decided to form a band with him. So that is how the band came. So when we formed the band, initially, like the first 2 months, the band was a hit than even Marvel.
Yeah.
The band was fully booked, I think. The first 1 month was hard because we didn't have any gig.
Yeah.
Actually, we were just recruiting members and practicing and making sure that we are ready for the market. But once we hit the ground running, I think within the first 1 month, we were fully booked. So we formed the second band. So the band initially was a hit more than Marvel. So people will even reach out to the band. Hi, I want a band to come and perform in my wedding and so on and so forth. So we will negotiate. After we are done, I will now mention Marvel.
Yeah.
That with the band, I also have a car hire. And now I started pushing these 2 brands. Though the other things I still do on the sides.
Yeah.
Yeah, apart from even these Marvel and the car hire. But then this is how I was pushing these 2. So the band has also grown. I have like 20 members who I manage, and they're from different countries. I have Congolese guys, Rwandese, Burundi, Tanzania, yes. And then also from Kenya, I have guys from almost each and every tribe. Meru, Taita, Kikuyus, Luo, Luya. I have almost everybody else. A team of 20. Even Masai, I have a Masai in the band actually.
Yeah.
So for the band, it's been just like an opportunity of doing as in enjoying, doing what I enjoy, though I'm not that talented. Because when I was in primary school, I tried my hands in singing, okay, in singing during those drama festivals.
Yeah.
So just going somewhere, actually that is how I wind. I go to the band, just sit, listen to them after a day at the engineering field or whatever thing. And I've also given guys, close to 20 of them, an opportunity to just also earn a living. So the band has grown. We perform in different places. We've handled quite a couple of corporate events.
Yes.
We do events for PwC. We've done events for the judiciary. We do events for most of these ambassadors, most of the ambassadors, APA Insurance, so many of them. Every Friday we go to Muthaiga Country Club, every Friday of the week. And then the other weekdays we go to many other places. We've gone to 1824 for on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
We've gone to Craigland. We've gone to so many other places. So yes, I have a band. It's a team of 20 guys. Who are out there on social media. They are at Classic Band on Instagram, on Facebook. We are as Top Notch Entertainment.
We'll run all of that down in the video, and guys, make sure you follow them on their social media pages, both Marvel and Top Notch Band. So Fred, I think your story is very interesting, but there's one thing which I'm sure you encountered, and that is challenges. So how do you navigate challenges in your business?
Wow, challenges are there.
Yeah.
Very many of them. If I was to pick on the band alone, that has been the most difficult because these are artists.
Yes.
Artists, there's a way they feel, as in there's a way they want to be treated, okay? So here I'm managing like 20 guys. Yeah. Personally, they all know that I'm not a musician, so I don't understand music per se.
Yes.
But I still have to manage them, ensure that there's professionalism in here and so on and so forth. So one thing I do is at times I listen a lot. Yeah. Okay, if there's an issue, like with the band guys, if there's an issue, I call them to my place or wherever. You have a sit down. I let them talk. I listen to their issues, and then we find a solution. I don't work with solutions. Yeah. We generate solutions amongst us. Wow. So that when something comes up, we own it. Yes. See, if you tell me that, okay, boss, we had a fight with their so and so because of this and this and this, and I will ask you, how can we go about it? And you tell me that this is what I suggest that we do going forward, and it gives their suggestion, and we intermarry all this. Yeah. You own what you told me, so I can easily ask you. You told me like this. Why are you not doing exactly what you told me? So I listen and generate ideas from within us. Yeah. Even with the Marvel, I own the cars, but let me tell you one thing. It's not like I even understand the cars 100%. I think, you know, most of the guys I work with understand the cars much better than I do. Because at times, I pick a car, I don't even know how to connect a Bluetooth in this car because each of them is different from the other.
Yes.
Then I call, hey, how do we do about this? So in short, I give people an opportunity to even learn and even share with me ideas way beyond what I know. Because you can't be know-it-all. You can't be an engineer and you understand the cars 100%, you understand the band, as in you are all over the place.
Yeah.
But if you give people an opportunity to excel in their areas, whether he's just a sound man, let him explain to you what he's doing. Give him that opportunity. Make him believe that he's the very best in that. Then you'll succeed. Even my drivers, the guys I work with as the drivers, they are the very best as far as I'm concerned. Because I've given them an opportunity to just be who they are. To just push and push and push. As I push in my area that I know, up at 9 level. And also I take corrections easily, even from the band guys. Look, the band I think has brought the very best because I'm sorry to say, you know, some of these band guys, not all of them have gone to school.
Yeah.
So you don't expect them to be so much exposed. But giving them even an opportunity to tell me that, boss, Apauko, you are wrong in this. This is what we're supposed to do. Tunafaa kufanya hivi na hivi na hivi na hivi. Has given me an opportunity, has made it a little bit easier for me to manage challenges because they come every single day. Yes, every single day.
Absolutely.
To give you an example, yesterday I traveled to Kisii for an engineering job. It was a to and fro. On my way coming back, the band was scheduled to perform somewhere.
Yes.
So I get a call from a client that I'm having issues with your sound. The sound is not so clear. But look, I traveled to Kisii and I was traveling back, so I was a bit tired.
Yes.
So I felt like if I get to Nairobi, I just want to go to my place, freshen up and relax.
Yeah.
When I got that call, I was not very far away from Nairobi. I drove all the way to that place to just make sure that at least I attend to that. And I also show concern to the client. So I think that is one thing that has kept us going, especially when challenges come our way. We show up. We show up. If there's an issue, we show up. We attend to it. We don't shy away from them.
Wow. Show up and attend to your issues. Don't shy away from them. But also there's this aspect of co-generating solutions because you cannot know everything, and that is how Marvel and Top Notch Entertainment have kept it going. So Fred, as we close, what advice do you have for young entrepreneurs out there?
I think you just need to start. You see, I've schooled in Luo, they come from Western, and there's this word they say, chaka chaka.
Yes.
Just get started. Don't plan so much, because at times I sit and I ask myself, at what point did we start Marvel? I can't pinpoint.
Yeah.
There was not so much planning where we sat. She had a vision.
Drew a plan.
We just got started.
Yes.
Don't plan so much thinking that you need a whole lot of money and so on and so forth. Let me tell you, there's one guy, there's a day we were doing an interview, and there's one guy who showed up when you were doing the interview. That guy now even owns a car hire company. During then, he didn't have any car hire company. And this I've told even to a couple of my friends.
Yeah.
You can have a car hire company without owning a single car. Okay?
Yes.
There are people who just know exactly. They just have a page and know who have the cars and look for who need the services.
Wow.
And then they just connect them. This guy has been doing that for 2 years. He just bought his car, I think last month, his first car. A good car. I've been wanting to own that car. I'm like, wow. As in now I'm admiring him.
Yes.
As in you just need to start and just push. You know, there's no two way around it. There's no two way around it. There are no shortcuts. There are no shortcuts. For me, as far as I'm concerned, there are no shortcuts. Just have to put in the hours, keep pushing, face your challenges. Above all, also, you just need to pray. Because even for Marvel, let me tell you, there are times that we've been awake like the whole night, attending to things here and there, and so
Yeah.
on and so forth. So those things will arise. It doesn't mean like it's so easy that
Yes.
probably you have 1 or 2 cars. Most people admire what they see from outside
Yes.
until they come and go through the process. Probably someone might think you have 10 cars or something. Life is so easy for you.
Yeah.
It's not that easy. They don't know at times even those cars probably could be the origin of even so many other trouble that you have. Because at times you sleep and cars are all out there.
Yeah.
You see a call and you're like, is it an accident?
Yes.
What could it be?
Mm.
You see, everything you have comes with its own fair share of challenges. You must just be ready to face, have an open mind, and push. And the way I've said, above all, God. Yeah.
What a powerful way to end this interview with Fred. And I think there's so many really take-homes from this interview that I wouldn't wish to summarize. But as he rightly says, chaka, which in my community means just start. So you do not need to have much money. You do not need to have a lot of resources to get started. But it is just believing in yourself and believing in your potential. And you can achieve above and beyond what you imagine. So thank you so much, Fred. And this was such an interesting interview. We have learned a lot from your journey, and we just wish to hear more of such stories. And from the Geneva Diaries, we wish you all the best with all of your business ventures. And we have come to the end of the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
Keep pushing. Let's see what the world has in store for us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. I have been your host, Juliet Oloch, and this is Inspired by the Geneva Diaries.
Thank you.